This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Hello to everyone and welcome to today's virtual event. My name is Carlo Bobilas and I'll be your moderator for the session. I'm pleased to introduce today's speakers, CX Project Management Architect Brian Stanford and Solutions Architect Nazli
This
Kiastabat.
meeting is
But
being
before I hand over the
recorded.
mic, I do have a few housekeeping items
All
to cover
right. Hello
about
to
today's
everyone and
session.
welcome to today's
Today's session
virtual
will be
event.
recorded and made available on demand. After the live session, we'll make sure to provide some details. So make sure to stay tuned. Also, we'd love to hear from you during today's presentation. So if you are on WebEx and have a question for our speakers, please feel free to send it through the WebEx question and answer panel, where our wonderful panelists are ready to respond. For those tuning into our live stream, we thank you very much for joining in as well. Q&A is limited to those via WebEx. However, we will have a post-event Q&A thread over on the Cisco Learning Network, where you can post any follow-up questions you might have. So without any further ado, I'd like to kick things off by welcoming Brian. Brian, over to you.
All right. Thanks for everyone's time today. What we'll go over today is the unified networking experience licenses for Wi-Fi 7. So you're going to learn about the new global use access points. So we're super excited that this is going to simplify our customers' ordering capabilities, so you don't have to order something for geo-specific. The different flexible deployment modes, so you can manage these on-prem or cloud in the future. So this is really nice to see that we're trending in this direction where we're starting to streamline things for our customers. And then more simplified management. So with the streamlined management mode, the discovery process, and onboarding, so we hopefully eliminate some complexities and help our customers save time deploying these new APs. And the unified licensing, we'll go over the network subscription. We'll explore some of the benefits that the unified licensing supports, and also how we've got this unified software, hardware, and support all embedded. So simplifies purchasing and management, to get your support for any support issues. And then looking at the seamless integration and how the Wi-Fi 7 global access points and the unified subscriptions are bringing our wireless portfolio together in a future-proof way. So regardless how our customers want to manage the APs, we'll see how you can do them either on-prem or in the cloud here. So we had this poll. I don't know if you could pull the poll up, Carlo.
Yep, pulling it up now.
All right, folks. We'll give everyone just a quick few second pause here to take a look at our poll. But basically what we're looking for is to see which aspects of the Wi-Fi 7 unified licensing and the global access points appeals most to you, right? So either the simplified global deployment, so you have one hardware SKU to order no matter where you are globally. The flexible management options, where now you can manage it both on-prem or in the cloud. The unified licensing and subscription model, where it simplifies purchasing and support with the embedded support in there, or the future-proof scalability for your investment protection. That way, as your network evolves and you need to change, if you need to move it from on-prem or to the cloud, or from cloud on-prem, that you have that capability. So looking forward to getting those responses. So we'll dive into our unified experience overview. So prior to launching the unified experience, the new UNX, what we see is we had two different distinct experiences for those customers that were using Catalyst Center and managing their APs with Catalyst Center, right? You had your Catalyst SKUs, you had to apply your DNA licenses, and you were able to manage on-prem. And on the other side, we had customers using the Meraki experience. So you'd order your Meraki APs like an MR46, and then you would get the licensing, a Meraki license to attach, and then you would manage that AP on the cloud. And there was no way to interchange or interoperate. So very distinct experiences, different purchasing, everything kind of isolated. And what we're excited about with this is the ability to combine them and manage things in this new way. So with our unified experience, now you order one piece of hardware. So you order your new Wi-Fi 7 AP, and then you purchase a unified license, and now you can manage it either way you choose, and you have the capability to move it. So it's not like if you choose to manage it on-prem with Catalyst Center or in the cloud with Meraki Dashboard today, you have the ability to move it. So we'll go ahead and hand it over to Nasli to cover the actual APs.
Thank you, Brian. Good day, everyone. So I'll just start going through, look at the first aspect of the unified experience, which is unified hardware. So Cisco Unified Hardware for Wireless offered a suite of Wi-Fi 7 access points, including the 9178, 9176, and 9172 series. They're all designed for high performance and scalable wireless networks, which providing one product for all your Wi-Fi 7 deployments. All these access points, pretty much all of them offer next level speed, enhanced security, and resilient connectivity. As we go through it on the next slide, they seamlessly integrate into your existing network. It could be whether on-premises or cloud-based managed, which with that capability is going to provide you with flexible deployment options for various organizational needs. Going to quickly, very briefly go through the different series of access points. The 9178 series are designed for mission-critical deployments and demanding applications like IoT and also high-density environments. And the 9176 series, these are enterprise-class, high-density, high-performance access points, ideal for conventional buildings, offices, and other enterprise deployments. They have the omnidirectional and directional antenna models offer the flexibility for the various deployment scenarios that may have. And the 9172 series, these are also high performance wireless solutions. These are designed for environments like healthcare clinics, retail stores, or distributed business locations like regional branches and so on. And all these series, they have the tri-radio functionality across 2.4 gigahertz, 5 and 6 gigahertz bands. And then the 9172s, these are the APs that are high speed, and they are designed to be used for spaces with low to moderate device density. Do I have access? Brian, since you have access, could you just move to the next slide?
So you can forward it, Nasli.
I'll
send it over to you.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So this unified experience and approach allows for a smarter, seamless onboarding with its Wi-Fi 7 access points and networking subscription. So what that means that you can deploy the product that you have today with secure preferred management mode. And later on, if you want to swap and change your management mode, go from on-prem to cloud or from cloud back to on-prem, you have that flexibility to do later so that's the important part, without having to purchase any new hardware or software licenses. And in addition to that, so we are talking about a connectivity that is both built for future by utilizing Cisco Networking Subscription and global use access points, which are these Wi-Fi 7 access points. It is built for the future, meaning that as your priorities and needs changes over time, you have that flexibility to change things. And it provides the full flexibility with the global use access points and also single license type, regardless of using on-prem or cloud management. You'll be able to optimize You'll be able to optimize your budget and also protect your network investments. This unified licensing and hardware pretty much simplifies for you the experience of managing all your hardware and licenses. You'll be able to design and build your network with Cisco's most comprehensive series and line of Wi-Fi products to ensure that to have a premium wireless experience as you design for yourself and for your users. So we talk about these global use access points that you will be able to use to have resilient connectivity. So with the Wi-Fi 7 access point, unified hardware, you're no longer required. So when we talk about the unified hardware, you're no longer required to order using the regulatory domain codes or a management mode specific part numbers when you're ordering and buying the hardware. We're talking about seamless onboarding. So the global user access points pretty much automatically onboard to the network management mode of the choice, that if you are doing the on-prem or the cloud, determining the physical locality upon the installation. And we talk about future-proof flexibility. So with having unified license and unified hardware, it's pretty much you'll have a simplified process of managing your both hardware, the product itself, and license, and you will be able to repurpose it as needed. And in line of that, when we'll talk about the licensing on the later slides, but pretty much what will happen is today the way that the licensing enforcement is happening with, on the Calorie side, on-prem side versus Meraki are different. With this unified licensing, there will be one common license model as well. And so kind of to put together all these pieces together, so if you want to order the Cisco Wi-Fi 7 products, we have, so you'll have the 3 series going from 9178, 76, and 72, and which and then in addition to the hardware, then we talk about the unified licenses that are available for purchase, which, again, keep in mind that that's regardless of the management or deployment type, and you can get that within a Cisco Networking Subscription. The unified licenses are available in the Cisco Networking Subscription. There are 2 tiers for the wireless subscription. One is the Cisco Wireless Essentials, or you can get the Cisco Wireless Advantage. And as a combination of that, you will have the flexibility to see if you want to use your management mode in a cloud and managed by Meraki, on-prem, or hybrid mode. One thing is that is specific to Meraki. If you are a current Meraki customer using Meraki dashboard and you have Meraki co-term licensing, you will be able to get the Wi-Fi 7 for Meraki, continue with the co-term licenses. And one more thing that I wanted to bring up, the support for Wi-Fi 7 for if you are doing the management mode on-prem using Cali Center. The support for Wi-Fi 7 starts from as introduced in 2379 series, if I'm not mistaken. Brian,
yeah, that's correct. Yep, it was 2379. Okay. Yes.
All right. And okay, Brian, I'll hand it back to you to continue. Sure.
Yeah, I guess another note with the 2379 is that as we release the 3 dot releases, right, we'll also see like a 3.13x where it'll support the Wi-Fi 7 APs as well. So the that'll be coming up in the future. And when we look at unified licensing enforcement, so Meraki customers today have a level of enforcement with their subscriptions. And on the Cisco Catalyst side, on the on-prem side, we didn't have any type of licensing enforcement. So today, what we're looking at is trying to unify that licensing enforcement mode, where it'll be unified with this single platform and these new licenses. From my understanding, we still don't have the enforcement in place, but it'll be coming in a up and coming release of iOS XE for the wireless LAN controller and the APs. So the way it will work when it's finally here is going to be the full device functionality will be restricted until it's licensed. So in the future, like if you ordered a Wi-Fi 7 AP today and you're getting it in-house, you could actually bring it up and use all the functionality and get it configured. In the future, what you would see is that you would only get the 2.4 gigahertz frequency. You could do all of the configuration that you need, and then when you license the device, you apply the license to it, then you would get the full functionality. And then when the license expires, the device continues to pass traffic, right? We're not impacting the traffic. Management and monitoring via the Cisco management platforms, whether they're on-prem or in the cloud of Meraki dashboard, both of those would have some level of restrictions. And then you would be restricted for software updates, except for maybe like the security alerts and critical bug fixes. Additionally, the Cisco cloud-based services features like Spaces, ICE, and Thousand Eyes that are included in the management license are sold as add-ons could be restricted as well until you're compliant again. So access to the software support, will be denied until you fully license the product as well. So if you let your license expire, then you're not entitled to get the support and frequent software updates. It'd just be for the critical updates. So those are things to look for to understand about unified licensing in the future, because when you upgrade to I don't have the iOS XE version specific yet, but when it's available, we'll definitely announce it and make sure that you're prepared to understand that there will be some licensing enforcement coming as the two systems become unified. So we're on the path to unify the software, the hardware, and the experience. We're just not 100% there yet, but in full transparency, right? We're sharing where we're going, and customers that use Meraki today are familiar with the licensing enforcement, and customers on the on-prem side really this would be new to them. So we want to make sure that everybody has a full understanding of where we're going with the unified licensing enforcement. So when we look at the Meraki dashboard and Cisco Smart Software Manager, right, you've got different ways to manage these software subscriptions. What's nice is that there's connectivity between the Meraki dashboard and the Cisco Smart Software Manager. So now when you apply a license in one place, it will take that license and remove it from the other. So like if you onboarded some in Meraki and you onboarded others in CSSM or through Catalyst Center, it would have an accurate count of your software subscriptions. So what's really, I think, super beneficial here is that now you can actually get a very accurate count of how many licenses you've consumed, how many licenses you have remaining for your deployments. So regardless of which method you choose to manage the software, you can still get that accurate count if you use some in one place or another. You have this unified experience and understand what licenses are available. So when we look at, I guess if you look at visibility, right? So on the Meraki dashboard, you'll have visibility to both Meraki licenses consumed and those claimed via the CSSM. So Meraki dashboard would be your like single unified pane of glass for understanding where all of your licenses are, right? And then when you're looking at CSSM, you would have all of what's consumed in your on-prem, and then you can access your enterprise licenses in the EA workspace. But being able to choose whether you're cloud ready and you're using Meraki dashboard and you have that view, or if you're cloud averse, you don't have Meraki dashboard set up, and you can just continue using CSSM, and also for your air gap customers. So if you've got security or the space that you're in doesn't allow internet connectivity, right? You can still manage your licenses that way. So what's unique about the networking subscription side is that support is embedded. So when you purchase your AP, at this point you are not required to purchase the software to support it. So you can buy your APs, get them deployed, and then you can come back and buy your networking subscription for the APs. And when you apply the software subscription for those APs, you also have software support. So now you have this unified support where it doesn't matter if you're using the products in the cloud or on-prem, right? You have the same service level agreements, so the teams are empowered to resolve your issues, no matter if it's a on-prem issue or if it's something that you're using that's in the cloud. So you have this simplified licensing and support procedure. And then also for your renewals, right? If you're already using Meraki dashboard and you've got coterms, then you see when renewals are. And then as you purchase your software subscriptions for your on-prem, you have this more simplified purchasing for the license and the software renewals as you go forward. So when we look, if we dive deeper into what support we have, right, we have the expert resources. So you have access to your Cisco communities and your peers and specialists. You can ask questions there. You have your standard trusted support that typically for on-prem customers was our Cisco TAC, and if you were a Meraki customer, you had the Meraki TAC. They were a bit divided, but now they'll have more connectivity between the groups to support the APs, however you choose to deploy them. So you have the same 24/7 options for hardware, software, and OS support. You have the Cisco Support Assistant that you plug in that can actually help with some of the troubleshooting workflows and log gathering. And so you can keep your network performing as you expected, resolving the problems as quickly as possible. With the software subscription, you also have some digital insights. So your asset and license management view, being able to view case management, see how long cases have been open, what security advisories or field notices or bug notifications. There's a priority bug notification that goes out. So you have these digital insights that you're able to access as well. And there we're looking to improve your operational efficiency, reduce your risk, where you could be as proactive as possible. So like as soon as an advisory comes out, you can address it. And then at the same time, you also have the e-learning. So you have your on-demand courses, best practices to advance your skills and expertise as you manage your wireless deployments. So when we look at the customer support, right, we have our standard severity definitions where SEV 1 is like operations are impacted, product is down, and then if it's SEV 2, you have something that's substantially impacted. Maybe it's degraded services, where the product isn't functioning fully, but it's still providing some functionality, so you're not totally down. Then you have the SEV 3, which is a minimal impact on business, but you've got a product that's partially degraded or you're getting some error messages, but it's not impacting the traffic flow. And step 4 is where you don't have any business operations, but a feature implementation, or you need config assistance. So previously you had different support workflows, and now you have the single workflow where you make a support request with the appropriate severity of what you're assessing the situation is. You get this single point of contact, and whether you're using the product in cloud or on-prem, right, this single point of contact will work with the specialists on the appropriate teams to collaborate and help get the issue resolved as quickly as possible. So unifying, both teams on the wireless side for our new unified hardware and software here. And looking at the benefits across across the hardware licensing and support, right? So now you get this seamless interoperability between management experiences. So you no longer have MRAP or a Catalyst AP. You just have the one Catalyst AP that you could use either way. You don't have any PID variations, for regulatory domains or software feature sets or management mode. So now you have one PID to order for the product that meets your needs. And then with unified licensing, now we have a single license that enables either management mode. We have common licensing tiers, so we're sticking to like the essentials and advantage tiers. And we're looking to move forward with a common licensing enforcement for those customers that had Meraki. They were familiar with some licensing enforcement. For our on-prem customers, this is new, so trying to keep you in the loop and up to date as that comes about. And then, as I mentioned in the previous slide, right, our unified support, having this common embedded support. So when you subscribe to the software, you also get support for it right away. And when the software subscription ends, also your support ends. So now you have this single spot where your subscription of your software and your support are both embedded together and end together. So you're not having to manage a support contract versus the software contract. And then consistent deliverables and SLAs, independent of management modes. So if you were a Meraki customer, you may have had one experience before, and if you were a Catalyst Center, maybe that experience was a little different. So now these experiences are merged and together with a single point of contact. And now you've got a common customer experience services and post-sales experience. So unifying support all the way through from the purchasing all the way out to the product lifecycle here. And now we're looking at poll number 2. So if you could pull up, Carlo. So what we're looking for here is which platform do you primarily use for managing your wireless network today? So do you use on-prem Catalyst Center? Do you use Cisco Meraki, the Meraki dashboard? And could it be a combination of both, right? Do you use Catalyst Center and Meraki? Are you a hybrid customer, but you get these two distinct experiences? So looking forward to see what you're using there, and then maybe you use neither. Maybe you manage the devices on-prem with just the wireless LAN controller or something. So interested to get your feedback there as well. So closing things out, right? Key points to remember, right, is these simplified deployment modes. So now you have a global use access point. So you could streamline your ordering and your deployments without having to be region specific for hardware. So you have the simplified onboarding experience. So hopefully this reduces your complexity and saves you time. Our flexible management, now being able to have the single license and single piece of hardware and move it between the management modes that you need, depending on what your business needs. So it gives you flexibility and protects your investment. And in the unified licensing, so now your software subscription provides both the single software for the new unified hardware, and you get the software and embedded support that you need. So you have a simplified purchasing, easier, more flexible management, and then easier to renew with the co-terms, so you know when things are ending. So now it applies both across Catalyst and Meraki, so we're excited about that. And then the future-proof scalability, right? The solutions are designed to scale and evolve with your network needs, ensure that your investment is protected, and your network can adapt to your future demands. And now we can, if we have any questions, we can hit some of the Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Brian and Nasli. Again, at this time, we'll go ahead and take some time for questions. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question and answer panel. And it looks like we do have a few questions that came in. And I just want to also reiterate that thank you for the panelists for answering some of the questions that have already been asked during the session. Okay, first question here is from Walter. He asks, is there a central license management support for different regulatory domains for several countries?
So with the new unified license, right, you would have the one piece of hardware and the one software. So it doesn't really matter which your regulatory domains. Like Nasli mentioned, when you're placing your order, you don't have to worry about the regulatory stuff now. The hardware and the software is not regionally specific. It'll accommodate and adapt to the location that you deploy it at and meet those regulatory needs.
Thank you. Okay. Another question came in from Gaetano. I'm at a large school district with a large deployment of access points. We have moved ahead and purchased AP model 9176 to replace approximately half of the fleet. At the moment, I do not have centralized management for anything. I would like to get a better understanding of what my options are for managing the new fleet and existing fleet. Do you have any? Our current equipment is old and is not compatible with Meraki dashboard. Do you have any information or route he could take?
I mean, this would be a great question to engage your Cisco contact or a partner with, right? Because with the new models that you've purchased and the software, you have the ability to manage the new fleet on Meraki dashboard if you want the simplified view of managing that half. But I think your question is a little complex on how do you manage the other parts that aren't, right? So if you replace half, are you going to have like two distinct management modes where you'll manage the new stuff on Meraki, and then how long is the old stuff going to be in place? So depending on what your timeline is and how long you need to manage the older devices and how long it takes you to deploy this first half, right? Would it be worthwhile to deploy Catalyst Center on-prem and manage all of it, or do a hybrid mode where you manage the new stuff with Meraki dashboard and the old stuff you have a Catalyst Center, maybe a virtual deployment of Catalyst Center if you don't plan to have it long term instead of purchasing the hardware. So I think there's a couple of nuances and some more context that you would have to add to get a really good question, a good answer. I mean, but I think with the model that you've chosen to purchase, you definitely have flexibility, and you could go all Catalyst Center and get a Catalyst Center appliance and manage it that way, or if you're looking at Meraki. So typically when folks ask, should I go on-prem or cloud, questions that I ask them back is like, do you want to manage the platform? All right. So if you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to manage the hardware of a controller and keep that up to date and do those, then that steers you toward Meraki dashboard, right, where you just manage it in the cloud. But if you have like advanced feature set needs, like maybe you want to deploy SDA and macro micro segmentation, maybe your needs drive you towards Catalyst Center. So I think understanding what your needs are in the future kind of helps dictate which platform you go to. So hopefully that gives you enough information to kind of point you in the right direction to maybe look at some additional questions to add context to get that answer.
Thank you. All right. There's a question about if you will show how to manage these licensing from Catalyst Center, or if there was a future webinar. I believe there was a past webinar that was hosted, right, Casey? I know, Casey, you're on. Do you know if we hosted? Yep.
That's correct. And we're also planning to do a lot more for managing licenses with webinars.
Awesome. So definitely do continue to be in the loop. Make sure to subscribe to the Cisco Learning Network newsletter, or just visit the site for upcoming webinars and virtual events. Okay. And there's another question. I can go ahead and take this one. Is if there's any exam vouchers for those who attend this session? Unfortunately, no, we do not have any exam vouchers for attending this session. Just the knowledge gained from our Cisco experts. So thank you for that. Okay. I don't see any other questions. Brian, Nazzy, would you like to go ahead and start to wrap up?
Sure. All right. So if you need to get more help along your journey, right, you have your customer experience services. So there's the advisory, implementation, management, optimization, any technical assistance and training. So there's additional Cisco services, or reach out to your Cisco partner to get some of these advisory and implementation services. And then for next steps, we really like our survey feedback, because we're always trying to improve these and improve what we're delivering to you to make sure it gets you the information that you need to manage your networks. And then we thanks for all your valuable time attending and listening, and look forward to delivering some more in the future with you guys.
Thank you very much. How about you, Nazly?
Thank you, everyone, for taking the time today to join us, and looking forward to having more sessions for you in the future. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you, Nazly. Thank you, Brian. I went ahead and put 2 links into the chat. It's where the recordings will be hosted. The edited version will be on that first link over on the Network Experiences Training Videos page. However, if you want to view the unedited version, which is streamed on YouTube, I'll link that in the post-event discussion thread, which is on that secondary link. And then also, if you have any future questions, anything that comes up, bubbles up as you exit the session, feel free to go ahead and post it in that post-event discussion thread to continue the conversation. Brian mentioned that there is a survey. Yes, as you exit the session, you'll be directed to a survey. So we do encourage you to take the time to participate. Please let us know how we did, along with any topics you'd like for future webinars. I'll keep the Q&A window open for a couple more minutes. For even more tutorials, demonstrations, and future webinars, please do visit the Cisco Learning Network. Again, the link is in the chat. Definitely bookmark those. Thank you again, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.